It's frustrating, isn't it? This feeling inside, or this image of who you could be or maybe what you could create.
A potential.
Yeah, but it often feels, well, sort of shackled. Like it can't quite break free and become real. What is that? That invisible chain.
The seed of aspiration. It holds, immense potential. But the soil it's planted in,
Hmm.
sometimes it has unseen stones.
Exactly. I keep thinking about the lotus flower, how it grows from those murky depths, which seem, well, impossible.
Uninviting, yes.
But it still blossoms into something just beautiful. It doesn't wait for perfect water, does it?
Yeah.
There's something in that resilience, pushing up despite everything. It feels relevant to our own dreams.
The lotus teaches us, perhaps, that what seems like an obstacle can actually be the source of our strength. The darkness nourishes the roots.
But that's where so many of us get stuck, isn't it? We know it. Maybe we can even say the dream out loud, but then nothing. The momentum just stalls. So the real question I want to dive into today is, what's truly anchoring you listening to that starting point? What stops those dreams from actually taking root and, growing?
We often underestimate, I think, the power of our own minds, how they create both the vision and the obstacles.
Okay, let's unpack that. One of the first things I notice, and I do this too, is waiting for the right time.
Yes, the waiting.
We tell ourselves, oh, I'll start when things settle down, or, once I have more experience. Like, all the stars have to align perfectly first.
That waiting, it can become quite comfortable, can't it? A kind of holding pattern, a way to avoid the vulnerability of just beginning.
And that ties into something else I was thinking about, getting attached to how things should be. This perfect idea.
The idea.
So much so that we can't take even the first messy, imperfect step towards how things could be. It's a weird sort of paralysis.
The ideal becomes like a phantom limb.
Yeah.
You feel it so intensely, but you can't grasp it. And it stops you using the limbs you actually have.
It really hit home for me when I heard the story about a young monk, Tenzin. He felt this deep calling to teach meditation, share what he knew, but he was just convinced he wasn't ready.
Not enough. Not yet.
Exactly. Needed more years, deeper insights, all of that, so he just waited.
The desire to offer something valuable, yet held back by this feeling of inadequacy. It's a very common human place to be.
Yeah. And then an elder monk told him something so simple, but wow. He said, the path to mastery isn't about waiting for perfection. It's about walking the path itself. It just completely flips how you think about starting, doesn't it?
It does.
Every stumble, every mistake, it's actually part of the learning.
The journey is the teacher. It offers lessons that, well, no amount of preparation can give you. Each step, even the uncertain ones, it marks the path more clearly.
So the key takeaway here, maybe for you listening, is don't let that idea of a perfect start keep you stuck. Imperfect action, however small right now, is so much more valuable than some flawless plan that just gathers dust. Start where you are, with what you have. Just begin.
The smallest movement can start a ripple. Inertia is broken by that first touch.
Okay, so that's one hurdle. Another big one, I think, is this feeling that people who actually achieve their dreams are somehow different,
Special. Possessing something we lack.
Yeah, like they have some secret talent or advantage. We really underestimate ourselves.
We often see the fruit of someone else's work, but we don't see them tending the roots day after day.
And this connects to such a powerful idea that potential is inherent in everyone. It's like a diamond hidden inside rough stone.
Yes, the brilliance is already there.
It just needs uncovering.
Yeah.
Polishing through, well, effort and belief, I suppose.
The essence of who we are, it holds these boundless possibilities. Just recognizing that inherent worth, it starts to shift what we think we're capable of.
So it really becomes about cultivating awareness, doesn't it? That mindful noticing of our own thoughts, spotting those limiting beliefs we've just accepted without question, those I'm not good enough stories.
Mindfulness is like letting the water in a lake become still. Suddenly you can see the bottom clearly. You see the patterns of your thoughts, your beliefs.
And here's maybe a little reflection for you listening. Ask yourself, what would I dare to do if I really knew, that failure wasn't possible? Just let yourself imagine that.
Feel that freedom.
And then take that vision and find the tiniest, most doable first step you could take, maybe even today. Because really, any huge achievement is just a lot of small beginnings strung together, right?
The vast landscape is crossed one step at a time. Each small act of courage, it strengthens our inner compass.
Absolutely. And something really powerful happens psychologically when we actually do something, doesn't it?
Yes, action creates evidence.
It builds that sense of self-efficacy, believing we can make things happen. It creates this wonderful upward spiral.
The experience of even small accomplishments builds a sense of agency. It reinforces the belief that yes, more progress is possible.
Okay, so we've talked about ditching the perfect moment idea and recognizing our own strength. Now, what about how small actions can lead to big changes, that ripple effect?
Every action, truly, no matter how small, sends out unseen waves. Intention, combined with effort, creates a current. It shapes our reality and maybe more.
And I think we get discouraged sometimes because we feel we need to make these huge, sweeping changes all at once.
The grand gesture.
Yeah. But lasting change, real transformation, it often comes from those consistent, small, intentional steps over time.
The mighty river. It begins as just a single drop of rain. Consistent flow carves the deepest canyons.
It's like tending a garden, isn't it? You don't get a field of flowers overnight.
Right.
Prepare the soil carefully, plant a few seeds, water them regularly, you watch patiently. Our dreams need nurturing like that too.
Patience and consistent care. They're the sunlight and rain for the seeds of our aspirations.
I remember reading about a woman, Maya, who had this lifelong dream of traveling the world. But she felt totally trapped, demanding job, tight budget. It just seemed impossible.
Overwhelming.
Totally. Then she made one simple decision. She opened a savings account just for travel and put aside only $50 a month. Seemed almost pointless.
A tiny gesture, perhaps, but it carried the weight of her intention and the promise of accumulation.
Exactly. But month after month, that $50 grew. And more than the money, her excitement grew. Her belief that maybe, just maybe, this dream could happen. And after a few years, she actually did it. Quit her job, took that leap, started her adventure, all from that small, consistent act.
Maya's story really shows the power of that sustained incremental effort, doesn't it? By focusing on what she could manage, she built the momentum for what seemed impossible.
It's such a great reminder. Even if your dream feels huge and miles away, you can start right now. With something small, something doable, let that be the beginning.
The longest pilgrimage begins with the first step, taken with mindful intention.
Now, I've also been thinking about directing our energy wisely, back to the garden analogy. You wouldn't spend your time watering weeds, would you? Or pulling up the little seedlings you actually want to grow.
No, you'd focus your care.
Right. You focus on what helps your garden flourish.
Discernment in where we place our energy, our attention, is crucial. Like a focused beam of light, intention amplifies our efforts.
So this brings up a really important question for everyone listening. Are your daily actions, your habits, actually guiding you closer to your deepest goals?
A crucial reflection.
Are you investing your time, your precious energy, in what truly nourishes your dreams? Or are you getting pulled off course by, well, distractions?
A mindful look at our daily rhythms can reveal if our actions are truly aligned with our intentions.
Think about wanting to write a novel, for instance. Directing your energy wisely isn't just vaguely thinking, I should write.
No, that's too diffuse.
Right. It's specific actions, like scheduling writing time, maybe reading books about storytelling, perhaps finding someone to give feedback. Those concrete steps that directly feed the goal.
Intention, without directed energy, it remains just a whisper. Consistent action gives it voice, gives it form.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to something a bit more structured. This idea of setting clear intentions. You know, being specific, measurable, achievable.
Smart goals, yes. Clarity of intention provides a guiding star. When we know where we're aiming, each step feels more purposeful.
But I found this really interesting layer to add to that, bringing a quality of gentle awareness to it all. Mindfulness.
Yes. Being fully present as you move towards those intentions, without judgment, without rigid expectation.
So it's not just about being rigidly attached to hitting a certain target by a certain date.
No.
It's more about being aware of the present moment as you work, noticing if things need adjusting, staying open to unexpected turns in the road.
Rigidity creates inner conflict when inevitably the world doesn't match our plans perfectly. Mindfulness fosters a more compassionate, flexible way.
I was thinking about an entrepreneur, Hiroshi, who set these really strict deadlines for launching a project. And when challenges popped up, as they always do, he got incredibly frustrated, self-critical.
Attachment to a fixed outcome often breeds suffering when reality unfolds differently.
It wasn't until he started practicing this gentle awareness, just accepting the present moment, this is what's happening right now, that things shifted.
Ah,
He began to see setbacks not as failures, but as like data points, opportunities to learn and adjust his approach. He stayed present with the difficulty and eventually found a much more sustainable way forward.
mindfulness transforms obstacles. They stop being roadblocks and become stepping stones. It allows us to meet challenges with wisdom, not just resistance.
So this mindful presence, it adds this vital adaptability to our goals, doesn't it? It balances the clear direction with the ability to flow.
It reminds us that while setting a course is important, the real wisdom is in navigating the waters as they actually are, not just as we wish them to be.
Now, there's this beautiful idea, this image really of balance, thinking about all the different parts of our lives.
The whole picture.
And it strikes me that when we get really focused on a dream, it's easy to kind of neglect other vital areas, isn't it?
Very easy.
And that imbalance can actually undermine our progress in the long run.
True flourishing comes from harmony. When one area is overly stressed or neglected, it casts a shadow on everything else.
Because it's so easy to get tunnel vision on the goal.
Yeah.
And let our health, our relationships, even just our financial stability kind of slide. And ironically, that imbalance can lead to burnout or just feeling empty, even if we do achieve the dream.
A single-pointed focus without a strong foundation can become precarious. Sustained effort needs nourishment from all parts of life.
So we need to think about our overall well-being as the very ground our dreams grow from. You know, simple things, nourishing our bodies, quieting our minds, moving.
These are distractions.
Exactly. They're not distractions from the goal. They're essential for sustaining the energy and clarity for the goal.
A healthy body and a calm mind are powerful allies on any journey. They give us resilience for the obstacles and clarity to see the path.
And then there's the importance of connection, isn't there? Nurturing relationships that support and inspire us.
Yes.
Having people who believe in us, who get our vision, that can be such a huge source of strength, especially when doubt creeps in.
Connection provides a mirror for our strengths and a cushion when things get tough. Shared journeys often feel lighter.
And finally, there's this element of inner growth, seeing the pursuit itself as a chance to learn about ourselves.
Yes, the journey of aspiration is also a journey of self-discovery.
Reflecting on what happens, the successes, the setbacks, helps us evolve along the way.
Each challenge met, each small victory celebrated, it shapes us from the inside out.
It's this whole picture, this holistic view, recognizing how interconnected everything is in our lives, that lets us pursue dreams in a way that's both effective and, deeply fulfilling.
By tending to the whole garden of our being, we create the most fertile ground for our aspirations to truly blossom and bear fruit.
No. Shifting again slightly. One of the most, I think, liberating ideas I've come across is this understanding that nothing lasts forever. Nothing is permanent.
Yeah, Annika, impermanence.
Yeah.
The ceaseless flow of existence.
Yeah. And when we really get that, it can be incredibly freeing when it comes to our dreams.
It allows us to hold our experiences, the pleasant, the unpleasant, with a much lighter touch.
Because at first, the idea that everything's temporary might sound a bit unsettling, maybe even sad.
It can feel that way initially.
But when you really sit with it, it can release you from that intense fear of failure and the pressure to get everything perfect right away.
The fear of failure often comes from believing outcomes are fixed, that our sense of self is static. Recognizing impermanence starts to dissolve that rigidity.
It's like if you hit a setback pursuing your dream, that's not the final word. It's not a permanent state.
No.
And equally, if you have a moment of huge success, that won't define you forever either. It takes some of the pressure off.
It creates a sense of spaciousness, an understanding that this moment, right now, is just one wave in an ocean that's always moving.
I remember hearing about someone, Sarah, a graphic designer. She really wanted to shift into UX design, but she was just paralyzed by the fear of failing, of losing her current security.
The clinging to the known.
Exactly, and it wasn't until she really contemplated the impermanent nature of everything, her job, her comfort, even her own life, that she found the courage to step into the unknown.
The clinging to the illusion of permanence can be a powerful cage. Realizing the transient nature of all things can unlock the door.
Once she truly grasped that her current situation wasn't fixed forever, she felt empowered. She took risks, learned new skills, made the transition. She said embracing impermanence showed her that not trying was actually the bigger risk.
By accepting the fluidity of life, we become more willing to embrace change, to navigate uncertainty, knowing that both challenges and triumphs are temporary states.
So for you listening, If that fear of failure is what's holding you back, remember that setbacks are just part of the journey. They aren't permanent roadblocks. Often they're valuable lessons in disguise.
Each experience, whether we label it good or bad, offers a chance for growth, for deeper understanding. Impermanence reminds us to meet all of it with an open, learning heart.
And this understanding, this Anika, it isn't just a passive idea, is it? It can actually fuel action.
Absolutely, it can become a powerful catalyst.
A reminder that this moment, this chance to go after your dream, it's fleeting. It won't last forever.
The awareness of impermanence can fill our lives with a sense of urgency, but also appreciation. If everything is passing, then the time to live fully, to pursue what matters, is right now.
Think of an artist, Akira, a musician who longed to compose and share his music, but was terrified of criticism.
The fear of judgment.
It was reflecting on how short and precious life is, how temporary everything is, that made him realize something crucial.
What was that?
The potential regret of not trying, of leaving that music unmade, would sting far worse than any negative review.
Ah, yes. The fear of external judgment often fades when we weigh it against the inner regret of unlived potential, especially considering the brevity of our time.
That realization pushed him. He finally started composing, sharing his work, even though it felt imperfect. And eventually he built the life he dreamed of, touching others with his music. Impermanence motivated him.
Recognizing that each moment is unique, unrepeatable. It encourages us to embrace the present, to act on our aspirations without delay.
So the invitation is clear, isn't it? Act now. Embrace the messiness, the imperfection. Each day is a fresh start. As the saying goes, you yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way.
The path unfolds beneath our own feet, doesn't it? Taken with awareness, with courage, right here in the present moment, knowing how precious and transient it is.
Now this leads beautifully into another really deep concept: surrender. And I think this word often gets misunderstood. People think it means giving up, being passive.
But surrender, in this sense, isn't about quitting our efforts at all. It's about releasing our tight grip, our rigid attachment to exactly how things must turn out.
Right. It's about trusting the process, trusting the flow of life.
Yes. Trusting that our consistent, mindful effort will guide us, even if the destination looks a bit different from our initial map.
It's about letting go of needing to control every single detail.
That desire for absolute control, it creates so much inner tension, so much resistance. Surrender allows for a more graceful, adaptable way of moving through life.
There's that wonderful old Zen parable, isn't there, about the farmer and his horse?
Ah, yes. Good luck, bad luck, who knows?
Exactly. Events happen, the horse runs away, it comes back with more horses, his son breaks his leg, and each time the neighbors react, oh, terrible luck, or amazing fortune.
But the farmer just says, maybe.
Yeah. It's such a powerful reminder that life rarely follows our neat little plans. And judging things too quickly, well, it's often wrong.
The unfolding of life often holds a wisdom far beyond our immediate grasp. Surrender invites us to trust that deeper intelligence.
And I think of people in real life too, like a restaurant owner who poured everything into their physical space.
Yes.
Then the pandemic hit, forced them to close their doors. Instead of just giving up in bitterness, they surrendered the original plan.
They adapted.
They pivoted, started virtual cooking classes, meal kits. They embraced the new reality, used their skills differently, and actually found a whole new path that brought unexpected success and fulfillment. That's surrender in action.
The willingness to let go of how we thought things should be opens the door to possibilities we couldn't have even imagined before.
So it really comes down to focusing on what we can influence: our effort, our attitude, our learning, our willingness to adapt.
Our response.
And trusting the journey itself. Trusting it will unfold. Like Lao Tzu said, by letting go, it all gets done.
By aligning our actions with the present reality and releasing our tight grip on some predetermined future, we create space. Space for unexpected grace, for new opportunities to arise.
Now, as we start to sort of bring this deep dive toward a close, I wanted to touch on something that might seem a bit separate, but I feel is vital: gratitude.
Ah, yes. Cultivating gratitude. It's fundamental.
It might not seem directly linked to achieving goals, but I really believe it holds a key.
Gratitude shifts our entire perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It moves our focus from what we think is missing, from lack,
Yeah.
to the abundance that's already here. And that shift, that change in perspective, profoundly influences our motivation, our resilience.
Because when we're constantly focused on what we haven't achieved yet, it's easy to feel discouraged, right? Like we're always falling short.
Sense of scarcity.
But gratitude gently pulls our attention back to all the good things, big and small, that are already in our lives right now.
Cultivating gratitude nourishes a sense of contentment, a sense of possibility, even when things are challenging. It reminds us of the blessings already around us.
And the practice itself can be so simple, can it? Just taking a quiet moment,
Breathing.
reflecting on things you appreciate, maybe even visualizing your dream as if it's already real, and just feeling thankful for what is.
That mindful acknowledgement of the good strengthens our inner resources. It seems to open us up to receive even more.
And the benefits are real, feeling happier, less stressed, even believing in ourselves more. All things that really help on the journey towards a dream.
Gratitude creates a kind of positive resonance. It attracts more of what we appreciate and fosters that feeling of inner abundance.
Finally, it feels important to remember that our individual journeys, our dreams, they don't happen in a vacuum.
No. Interdependence.
Right? Everything is interconnected, and our own efforts, our own pursuit of a dream, can ripple outwards in ways we might not even realize.
All things are interwoven. Our actions, our state of being, they radiate outwards, influencing the world in subtle and sometimes profound ways.
So your courage, just you listening, your courage to pursue what's calling you, your authenticity as you go through the ups and downs, that can actually inspire other people, people who might be hesitating on their own paths.
By living our truth, by pursuing our passions with integrity, we offer a kind of silent invitation for others to do the same.
I think about Maria, a teacher who started this small tutoring project based on her own deep conviction about helping kids. Her passion, her dedication, it was contagious. Others saw it, got inspired, joined in. And what started as her individual dream grew into this nonprofit, this collective movement empowering so many children.
One person's commitment can ignite sparks in many others, leading to a collective rising of aspiration, of action.
So as you walk your own path towards your aspirations, just remember, your journey has the power to uplift others. Lead with your heart, maybe share your story authentically, and just recognize how connected we all are.
Our individual dreams are like threads in the vast, intricate tapestry of life. By weaving our own thread with intention, with joy, we add to the beauty and richness of the whole pattern.
So let's just recap slightly. We've touched on starting imperfectly, seeing our inner potential, the power of small steps, directing our energy wisely.
Balance.
Impermanence. Right, balance, embracing impermanence, the art of surrender, cultivating gratitude, and remembering our interconnectedness. These aren't just like nice ideas.
No, they're practical ways of being. Invitations.
Exactly. Invitations to engage with our dreams, our lives, in a different way.
They offer a gentle yet really powerful framework for navigating both the inner world and the outer world as we pursue what matters to us.
And as you continue to listen to that quiet voice within you, that dream that keeps nudging, maybe consider this. Your journey, while it feels deeply personal, is also part of something much bigger. So what small, brave step might you take today, knowing that it not only moves you forward, but also sends these little ripples of possibility out into the world?
The path of your heart awaits. May you walk in with awareness, with kindness, and with the quiet confidence of knowing your own inherent potential.